What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. You know what's frustrating? When you win, but you're kind of too frustrated to enjoy the win. You know, that just goes for anything in life. There are times whenever you just win at something, but you're so upset, you're so aggravated, so frustrated, that you're just like, I don't even feel like I won. This was one of those days. I was expecting a reaction. I was expecting some reaction. You lost 3-0 to Sheffield. Like, you put yourself in danger. Leicester, Man U, both slipped up. They gave you that extra boost to say, oh yes, we have a chance now. Let's go. Let's do it. Nope. It's like they're still hungover from the weekend. Like, they're still sitting there going, oh, God, you gotta play again? I don't even want to be here. God. I mean, it feels like there's no energy to their play. And I don't understand why. I don't understand how that's possible. And it's still Frank's first year. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to give him a chance to prove himself. But after these two performances, as a manager, if you're not able to get the best out of your players, or if you're not at least able to spark them into a reaction after losing 3-0 embarrassingly to Sheffield, just any reaction at all, how can he not say, hey, let's be better, wake up? Or at least, if they're not doing it, at least make the changes during the game and say, all right, he's not giving me enough, hey, you, get out there. And if you don't do it, you're coming off too. Like, where's the urgency? Where's the strength of the manager to get his players up to the level they need to be? Because there's just no reaction at all. And I don't know. I'm sitting here befuddled, confounded, trying to figure out how this is possible. Like, literally, our Champions League lives are on the line. And we're not giving anything. We're barely beating Norwich 1-0. And it's not like they really did much today. They were just there. They know their time in the Premier League is done. They're just kind of along for the ride right now. West Ham crushed them 4-0. And we struggled to beat them 1-0. That's where we are right now. We got FA Cup next weekend. Not looking forward to it. Man U's going to roll over us. Liverpool the weekend, or the midweek after, not looking forward to that. They'll probably roll over us. I mean, if this is what I'm going to get, we're not going to win. We're not going to be in the Champions League next year based on this performance today, based on the performance on the weekend. We're not going to be in the Champions League if we continue to do this. If we continue to just basically, I don't even know the right word for it. We're basically just along for the ride. Like, we're just coasting. Put it in cruise control and just go. All right, now we're just driving. Let's see what happens. So let's talk about the biggest frustration for me today before I get into individuals. It has to be just a willingness to work, a willingness to go win the ball, a willingness to not just react to a situation, but already be in motion and already be ready to attack. That was not there today. I mean, just watching the game, it's obvious. There's no reading of the game anymore. There's nobody on the pitch that wants to already be ready. So whenever, near the end of the game, Pulisic flicks it on from Giroud's great ball, and Krul makes a great save down to his left or whatever. Nobody's reacting to it. Everybody's just kind of watching it happen. I mean, God, how many times did that happen against Sheffield? How many times were we watching the ball as the Sheffield player comes in and finishes? I mean, it happened so many times. There was a corner in the first half of this one where I don't even remember who it was now. Oh, yeah. Loftus-Cheek manages to keep it in play. Zuma? Oh, and now I can... Oh, it's too late. I mean, do something. Be in motion. Move. Stay on your toes. But they're not. They're all waiting for something to happen. They're all watching to see, all right, is the ball going to come near me? Oh, it is. I wasn't ready. Oh, well. This is professional. You're being paid to go out there and play. Not to go out there and then wait for something to happen and then react if it gets close to you. That's not why you're out there. And honestly, at this point, I would kind of say drop a lot of these players. I'm kind of at that point now where I've seen two awful performances back to back. And honestly, even the Palace result wasn't that great of a performance. I mean, look to drop them. It's not ideal. You're probably going to lose, but I'd rather lose with an 11 that's going to work hard, that's going to bust it, that's going to try, than an 11 that's going to kind of mosey around. We'll just wait, a little jog. I mean, it's embarrassing to watch, and it's frustrating as well as a fan. So way too much of that. And then also, we've got to figure out our set pieces, our corner kicks mainly. Defensively on corner kicks, always a danger. Something they've talked about a lot this season. Still not getting fixed. Still a danger on set pieces, defending them. And then attacking, how many times did we win the header today on our corners? And we missed. Zuma had 2, Rudiger had 1, Giroud had 1. So we had at least 4 corners. We were very clearly winning the headers on these corners, which is not something that happens very often. Every single one of the headers wide. Can't get them on target. One of them was a free header, or 2 of them were free headers, I think. So why can't we get the headers on target? Are we not working on this? Considering we've been very poor on corners, have we not worked on it at all this season? I don't know, just a lot of questions that should have been answered long before this, and there's still questions that are being posed. Individually, it's going to be kind of hard to talk about because I don't think anybody really had a good match today. Kepa didn't have anything to do, really. Thank goodness, because if he had anything to do, it probably would have been 1-1. Back 4, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, Alonso. Don't mind that back 4. A little bit of a change, see if you can get something different out. On top of that, you're probably going to control a lot of the game, and Norwich is not going to provide a lot going forward. So I don't mind having Alonso at left back, because he's still a little bit of a liability, but you're going to be going forward a lot. But as far as Alonso's concerned, I just don't understand what he's being told. Are they telling him to make the runs inside? Because that doesn't make sense if they are. Because we already know Pulisic's going to make the run inside. Are they telling him to stay wide and he's not? If so, then sell him. If he's not going to listen to what he's being told, then get rid of him. Because I can't tell you how many times over the past 3 years that we've had Alonso, crosses come in, flicked on, or it gets all the way through, and you're like, where's the left back? And your left back is here. It's all the way over there, and you're just waiting. All right, Alonso should be running it. Why is he at the post? I don't understand. It's simple. It's very simple. Stay wide. Unless you've got a winger who is already wide, and there's no reason for you to be out there, stay wide. But instead, what happens is he continually runs inside, and every single time, ball either too far or it's flicked on. One of the two. It happens at least 75% of the time. And there needs to be somebody out there, and Alonso should be the one out there, and he's not. I'm not saying he had a terrible game today, but that happened way too many times. And it's happened way too many times during his Chelsea career. So I really want... I don't know, again, if they're telling him that he needs to be cutting inside, then that's a coach's problem. But if he is being told, hey, stay wide, and he's not staying wide, and all these balls keep coming through and should be there, and he's not there, then he's got to be dropped. Because it's not good enough. Zuma and Rudiger, nothing really too terrible today, except for the passing. Just watching some of Christensen's passing in the past few games, we need a defender that can pass. I know I mentioned something similar to my dad, and he said, well, that's supposed to be Jorginho dropping in and making those passes. But the fact of the matter is, you do need a defender that can play with his feet, at least one. And of course, you don't want to, pull a John Stones where, oh yeah, we got a great defender who can play with his feet, and then he's not a good defender. But you do need a defender back there that can at least move the ball a bit quicker and with a little bit more precision than Zuma and Rudiger, because both of their passes, they'll hit a good one every now and then, but for the most part, if they're sending it long, I'm not expecting it to turn out too well. But both of them defensively today, didn't really have much to do, but when they were called upon, they did okay. But they weren't really challenged at all. And then Spilicueta, I mean, it's just kind of solid. Didn't really do anything special that I don't already expect him to do. So, for Spilicueta, it was probably more of a quiet game, just because I'm used to seeing him be one of our better players. So, into the midfield, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic. Good to see Kovacic back out there, and he did have some moments that showed why he needs to be out there. He's very quick on the turn, whereas it's so funny to watch the difference between Kovacic's turn and Barkley's turn. Because Kovacic's turn is a quick little and he's gone, and he flicks, and he's just turns on the pace. His acceleration is really quick. Barkley is turn, touch, and then he gets up to speed, and then he's finally away. But by then, most of the time, if it's a team that knows how to defend, there's another player right there. Whereas Kovacic has already flicked it past that second player. Barkley is now tackling that second player. So, yeah, there's no comparison. And I'm shocked. I know Kovacic was coming off an injury on the weekend. I'm still shocked that Barkley started over him. But Loftus-Cheek, ever since he's come back from his injury, I know that just happened, but I don't know. I've not been impressed with what I've seen. He's slower. He looks scared to go into a challenge, and maybe he is worried about his injury. I don't know. But there are several times where I'm thinking, go in on him. Do something. Put him under pressure. Go in on a tackle. Hit him. But he's not really doing that. And honestly, he should be doing that. He is supposed to be that kind of big body, more of like a, think Matic. You used to see all these teams have this big body midfielder in there that was just roughing people up. I know it's sort of gone away from the game a little bit, but it's still a good asset to have. But the problem is, he's not doing that. He's just kind of there. He's just kind of watching as everything happens. He's not really involved that much. I was kind of disappointed with him today, really. I expected a lot more, especially because he's somebody that should be competing to get back into a spot and say, hey, I want this spot. This should be mine. He didn't show me why today. Like right now, for the midfield, it's Loftus-Cheek, Barkley, Mason Mount, Kovacic. Like that's where I am as far as the box-to-box midfielders. Jorginho, though, playing himself out of the position. I was asking the question several times, why is Jorginho not playing? Why is Gilmore getting time ahead of Jorginho? What is Jorginho doing to not deserve the spot? Well, playing the past few games, we've seen why he doesn't deserve the spot. He's back to sorry Jorginho, which is, ironically, a sorry Jorginho. Because he's slow, his passing isn't great, he seems like he doesn't really know what's going on half the time. I don't know, it's just back to the same old, Jorginho's in, looks like we're going to struggle in the midfield. And that's not how it was for a part of the season. There was a moment, I think it was around midway point, there was a point where Jorginho was looking at that midfielder that we expected to get. The one that everybody was raving about, the one that Man City wanted to get. That was the Jorginho we wanted. Sarri came in, ruined him as a player. And then Lampard comes in, and it looked like he'd worked with him. He had made him a better player. He looked more like Cesc Fabregas, honestly. But since coming back from break, he's not. He's not looked like that. He looked good coming in off the bench in the, I think that was the FA Cup. No. Was it the FA Cup? No, I think it was the Palace game. He came in for Gilmore late on. Looked solid there. But he's done nothing since. He's just been kind of a bystander. He's not really putting in great passes anymore. His passing is slow. He's slow on the ball. Gives away the ball too much. And then defensively, doesn't do anything. It's just too much of that, and it's really frustrating to watch. Front three, honestly, would have liked to see Willian or Pulisic, mostly Willian, get a break. Because based on today's game, Willian looks like he needs a break. He's typically a player that can just go. He wasn't today. So I don't know if he's hurting. I don't know if he's tired. Thankfully, we have almost a week until our next game, so he'll have a chance to rest. But why not get Pedro a run out? This is not going to be a game where you need Willian to go up and down, up and down, up and down, because Norwich isn't really going to get up that much. So why not give Pedro a game? Why not give Hudson-Odoi some minutes? I didn't really understand that decision. To keep those two. I understand the idea of form and trying to keep them in form and trying to give them time to keep that form. But the problem is you got to rotate at some point. Because we've had a lot of games come back to back to back to back. And so at some point you have to make those changes. You have to rotate players in and out. You have to give some other players some time and give these players that have started a lot and played a lot of minutes a rest. But he's not. Again, he brings off Pulisic. Just because that seems to be his go-to. Hudson-Odoi on for Pulisic. Okay. But Willian's been running his legs off for the past few games. Give him a rest. Let him take some minutes off. Bring one of them on as a sub. Because the thing is, this is not a game where you need to really worry about, breaking the team down. You know that eventually Norwich is going to give us a chance because that's the team they are. The thing is, are we going to be able to finish, and then are we going to be ready for the next game? And I think if you bring Pulisic or Willian off the bench, I think they're going to give you something late on and probably get that goal if you're needing one. But I just find it so bizarre that he doesn't want to switch up anything. He wants to keep everything the same. And in that respect, it's becoming much more like Sarri. Problem is that you're not having a game every week. It's 3 games every week now. So, kind of frustrated with that. But both of them were just kind of okay. Willian was probably the first game I would say was slightly below average this season. Pulisic, average today. Got a good assist for the most part. Was kind of lively, but didn't really do much. And then Giroud, same thing. It didn't put as much pressure as I'm used to seeing him, and honestly didn't take his chances like he normally does. So just kind of an average game for him. So I don't know. I'm really frustrated with a lot of the starting 11 because should have been a game to bounce back. Some of these players that didn't play or didn't start in the weekend wanted to see them come in with a fire and say, hey, this is why you start me. Honestly, none of them really did. Now, as far as the subs, Barkley coming on nearly made me want to just go ahead and call for Lampard sacking right then because the fact that Barkley is your first sub on, why? Why? What is it about Barkley? What is it about Barkley that just Frank Lampard loves so much? I need to know because I'm not seeing it. Whatever it is, I don't see it. So he came on for Loftus-Cheek, didn't really do much that Loftus-Cheek wasn't already doing. I mean, he was a little bit better than Loftus-Cheek, but again, it's like Loftus-Cheek, Barkley. Also, Reece James came on for Alonso, made that switch. Don't really know why. I don't know. It's like he just wanted to, I guess, make that change for some reason. Hudson-Odoi on for Pulisic. Didn't do much either. Tammy on for Olivier Giroud. Didn't do much either. I mean, honestly, the subs, that's one thing that I think Lampard has done very well since the returning. It seems like he knows what subs to make. It seemed like he made the subs in a lot of those games and they came on and changed it and things looked better. And for a while there, I was like, man, I just can't wait to see what subs he's going to put on. It seems like he's going to do something with these subs. He's going to change the game. Past couple games, no. Past couple games, the subs have just been, really? You're putting him on? And they come on and they don't do anything. It's more of the same old blech. And that's a problem. Because that was the one thing that he definitely was doing well when we started back. But now it's dropped off again to where now the subs are just basically meaningless. Now the subs just seem like, they have to happen. And that's a real shame. The fact that it used to be good and now it's not, that's a shame. So anyway, with all this being said, it is good to get the 3 points. It is good to get the win. But I wanted some confidence booster. I wanted something to look at going into the FA Cup and thinking maybe we have a chance because honestly, even though Man U did not look good against Southampton, they still look better than us. And they've beat us both of the games. They've done the double on us this season already, which means they're going in with a lot of confidence, going, hey, we already beat Lampard twice. We can do it again. Yeah, we slipped up against Southampton, but we're going to win our next game, and then we'll go into the weekend with some confidence. Because honestly, that's what I expect. And when I watch us play today, I didn't see anything that made me think, yes, we're back. Yes, we're rebounding from Sheffield. Yes, we've turned it on again. I didn't see any of that. I saw same old, and that doesn't give me confidence going into the weekend. So, we'll see what happens. But overall, I'm just kind of dreading now going into this FA Cup match. But who knows? Maybe somehow we'll turn things on. With that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe, feature Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.